Hey all, Heber here. So today we're playing the most recent PSVR2 game, and it is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution. Like very long title there. I initially didn't really expect much of this game. I thought it was just going to be, a spin-off of the TV series, and because of that, kind of in quality, and you don't know. And I never played the original game here, which is available on, I believe it's Oculus. So this is a new experience to me, and I'd say I am quite pleasantly surprised. I mean, this game is pretty good. I mean, I've only played a few hours, and I'm only showing here in the background just the beginning of the game because I don't want to spoil anything as usual. But I will say, compared to something like Resident Evil Village, which I just happened to have finished, then this is a lot more, action oriented. It's not as scary as Evil Village because, like most of all, the graphics are a little bit on the, dull side here. And not that the graphics are bad at all, they're just not as immersive as Villages. And that's fine because the whole style of this game is a little bit, cartoonish in the first place anyway. So I have no problem with that. So if we look into the, the adjustments in the game, there's quite a bit of adjustment. And I will say this is one of the only games I've played so far where I would shut all the vignettes off. And I would have, the whole view, no matter what I'm doing. I realize it might make some people a little bit more motion sick, but I just think that the vignette is too aggressive in this game, and even on the lowest setting, I find it annoying. And I also ended up turning it off on Resident Evil Village, and I just got used to it in the end, so it doesn't bother me anymore. And I don't get motion sick from it now. So if you can stomach it, so to speak, I would suggest that you turn all the, the motion sickness stuff off and just play the game. And maybe you can only last 15-20 minutes then, but it's still a better experience, I think, than actually having half the screen obscured every time you turn. It's just not a good look. And obviously for a video, it doesn't look good at all. So like I said, this game here is a lot more action focused. And when I say action focused, it's a lot more focus on actually killing zombies, which is great. So I initially struggled a little bit with the controls because I skipped the tutorial, as you do. But after a while, I got them down. And, it's pretty similar to Resident Evil Village, actually, where you keep, your weapons on your hip, and a bit of stuff that you're using is attached to your jacket, so you can just, reach up and grab it. And another thing I noticed in this game, which is actually really awesome, and I hope that a lot more games will, copy in the future, is the fact that you have your whole arm in the view, not just, your hands chopped off at the wrist. No, you have your whole arms, and it's surprising how much this actually does for the immersion. I wish Resident Evil had this. Other than that, the gunplay is actually excellent. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of Resident Evil Village, and you get to shoot a lot more things in this game here. And not just shoot, because you also get to chop away, and I don't know, I haven't made it that far in the game yet, but I'm sure that you'll get to do a lot of other stuff. And actually, the whole chopping motion is really well made. Because, you can chop from the side, you can chop some up and down, you can chop off arms and legs, or whatever you feel like, really. And that way you can, you can slowly, tear the enemies apart any way that you want. And it works really well. And another thing that's also interesting here, and something that took me by surprise in the beginning, is that you actually have to pull your axe or whatever it is you're using out of the enemy after you hit. And that's used in the gameplay to make it a little bit more difficult when you are attacked by more than one monster at a time, and I'll show it in a bit. Where you're actually, chopping away if you're out of bullets, and every time you chop, you actually have to release your chopping weapon again, and that it's something you need to get into when you're playing the game, and it's quite fun. So guns, like I said, I haven't made it that far yet, but they work really well, and the mechanics feel excellent. You don't have to reload them as in minute detail as you do in Resident Evil Village. That's I'm not sure if I like that or not. I kind of liked, you know, the feeling in Village of, you know, loading a shotgun, or, you know, just it's like the 6-shooter took a while to load, yes, because you actually have to do each bullet by itself then, and maybe I'm just lucky I only found a 9mm so far. But it seems that the reload details are a little bit less. I'm okay with that, because you still have to, you know, drop the magazine and pump another one up there. That's okay, and that feels good when you're playing, and it makes the immersion a lot better. And it's actually one of my like favorite parts of these PSVR shooters here is the fact that you actually get to load your weapon. It's not just, you know, a button press on a controller like we're used to, where you press Y or something like that, and your character does all the work for you. Here you actually have to, you know, put a little bit of effort into it, and the whole timing of your reloads plays a much bigger role. And should you mess up your reload, especially in Resident Evil Village, it has like nasty consequences. It's not as bad in this game here, but of course you still can get into a lot of trouble if you take too long to perform, you know, menial tasks. It took me quite a while to figure out how to actually open a door in the game, so it's not that easy. So this will be the end of this quick little preview here, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.